Long before it became the city we know today, the sprawling green forests of the Fraser Valley stretched endlessly. In the early 1900s, lumber baron Joseph Ogle Trethewey arrived with a vision. His mills brought work, families, and opportunity. The valley echoed with the sounds of saws and industry, turning what was once a small settlement into the community of Abbotsford. This is the story of Milltown.
In 1907 or so, when the Trethewey brothers first start to take this sort of smaller mill to something that eventually became the third largest lumber operation in British Columbia. These trees are not tiny little trees. These are the ones where you need the 12-foot cross-cut saw and at least 2 guys to take 1 tree down. You get 3 trees down in 1 day. Well, now imagine you've shown up here by yourself. Now you have to clear the land. So that's where we end up with a lot of these mills, because part of homesteading is that you can take the land, pay your licensing fee, your $10 licensing fee, but you have to improve upon the land and keep it that way for 7 years before it's actually fully yours. Well, you still need somebody to clear all of that land, and you still need to bring in more people, and that's when we start calling ourselves the last Best West, because we are wanting people to come here. These are the Magic Lantern shows that go to Europe and go down to the States to promote this part of the world, so people will want to come here. Our government wanted very badly for us to, for people to come and live here from Europe, and that's where it comes into play, that you are picking predominantly white, British, Anglo-Saxon people to come and live here. Well, eventually you're going to run out. Start looking specifically for, well, let's say, well, we know the Scandinavians are really good at felling trees and doing stuff like that. They could probably build us some dikes. It's not really relevant until after the Tretheweys come in and really try to grow the company. Milltown then has to come into play, because where are you going to put them? You're importing these people from other countries, and just from one day they're not here and the next day they're here. Well, it takes forever to build housing and stuff for everybody. So bunkhouses. So let's put a store in, let's put a post office in, and have all the facilities that you need. And so that's how Milltown comes to be. So now, because of the parkland and everything else, we don't really have anything left from Milltown. We have stuff from the mill, but not from Milltown. The closer we get to the Depression, the more of sort of you see these businesses like Claiborne, for example. Claiborne becomes fractured at one point, but with the Tretheweys, what happens is that simply everything got logged out. I mean, this is British Columbia. There are opportunities for logging elsewhere. Milltown sort of, it starts to dissipate and become smaller and smaller as people can afford and are able to build their own places and move away from Milltown. And then by the time you get into the late 30s, really it's just a lumber store left here. Lions Club comes in and turns it into parkland. We had swimming lessons. We had a acrobatics team in the lake back in the day. So we see other uses of the space, and that's sort of where you're seeing that it's becoming the heart of the community, but in a different way.
From towering cedar trees to a thriving community, Milltown is gone, replaced by Mill Lake Park. The Trethewey legacy helped shape the foundations of Abbotsford. Today, that history lives on, reminding us how one family's industry helped build a city in the heart of the Fraser Valley.